Welcome back to the Show Off Plan Works at Part 2. Time started. Uh, this gets a little complicated, and so sit back and you'll hear a tale. And this is what I think the gist of this whole thing was about, and that is what is part of your layout? How do you put your layout together? I got a layout right here, and what is my layout made out of? Layout files. I have 3 files associated with this layout. The plan that I'm working on, and every time I change the plan, it goes to plan 4 to plan 5. If my client takes this off and reviews it, I'll change this to plan 5. Client reviews. The next time I want it, it's plan 6, and then if I send it to the engineer, it's plan 6 to engineering, and then plan 7 after I get his stuff back. So that's what that is, and that's actually the model itself. The details are the CAD details, and that's another file. It's a plan file. And see these details right here, these CAD details of my footings and stuff, that's what that's all about. And then I have a demo plan in here, and this is actually a derivative of the model. When I create a set of plans, I create the as-built, and I save that as the as-built, and I save it as an as-built backup, and I save it as a demo plan. And the demo plan gets sent to my layout, and that gets modified. And then the as-built get changed to plan 2, which is when I start modifying it to meet for the what's going to be proposed actually. So and this is sort of important for me to review this with you guys, just so you sort of know how what I do, and then you can see what Perry does, and I think Jay Bomber did a really neat thing, and then Joe Carrick shared some stuff too. This is the model. This is the plan 4 that I just showed you. All this stuff right here, these are actually CAD details that I sent to layout that are actually part of this thing here. All these boilerplate notes are part of this file here, which is the model itself. To jump ahead real quick, what Jay Bomber has done, and I'll get into that in a little bit, what Jay Bomber has done is these are actually in a separate plan file. These are actually in a separate plan file. So if I adopted Jared Bomber's method, if I went to layout and I looked at his layout files, I would have something called workshop plan boilerplate notes. That would be the Jay Bomber method, and I'll get into that later. As I said, these boilerplate notes for me are part of my plan. They're CAD details of part of my plan. Perry puts these in layout. I think he has this stuff in his library. He just puts it in layout from the library. It's in layout from the library. Jay Bomber has a separate file. So there's sort of 3 ways of dealing with this. So here, this is my stuff, my roof plan, elevations. That's all part of the main model. Now here's my demo plan, and this is the separate file I showed you earlier. Separate file. This is all associated with the actual model of the proposed plan. This door window schedules and stuff. And I'm going to keep flipping on through, and I'm going to show you this is all part of the model. This is all part of see these details right there? Those details are the separate file that I just showed you. Layout files, and details. That's a different detail. That's what Jay Bomber does. This method also. Perry doesn't. Perry imports these. Perry puts them straight into layout. So give me a second. This is what Perry would do. Perry would take this detail right here, and I think he would block it, and he would send it to the library, and now it's in his library. Block 115, and he'd give it a different name, I guess. And so then he would say, all right, I want to put this right there. And that's what Perry would do. And here's another one right here. I'm going to block it. This is the Perry method. How do I block this thing if I can't see it? Block it. It's just a detail. He'd send it to the library. And here in the library, and then he put that detail right there. I'm not sure if I like his method as much. I think I like my separate file method as much. And what Perry kind of stressed was he didn't want to scale these things, so he'd stretch them out like this. And let me see this. Yeah, see the text, everything is bigger and smaller and stuff. And if you're anal, it might bother you, but if you're not, and I guess Perry's not, it doesn't bother him, and it probably wouldn't bother me either. I mean, no one's going to really care. They just want to see the stupid detail. And that's what Perry would do. But what I don't like, I don't know, did the fill change? The fill looks like, I don't know if it did or not. But anyway, and then I think if Perry could then take this and he could unblock it. I don't know how he would do it. He'd do it, you know. Bottom line is he takes this detail. But see, I don't like going to the libraries. I think libraries are it's a lot of work finding these stupid things. In fact, I think when I first started doing these details, I had them in CAD details in the plan. And I think that slowed up the plan and stuff. And so I switched to the separate file for my details. And Perry's taken it a step further. So anyway, that's what that's all about. You like Perry's method or not? I don't know. It's your choice. I have a separate file. But let me show you something here. Now this is the whole layout and plans and stuff that I'm looking at. This is it right here. Here's my layout. It's 16 kilobytes or 16 megs, okay? My plan, my model plan is 20 megs. Now I'm going to show you how I can pare that down pretty quick. Demo plan is 12 megs. My details are 6 megs. It's not very big, I don't think. But if I open, oh, here I am. Now watch this. Now, this is the way I've been doing it in the past, but I'm starting to kind of modify this. And this is, you know, I have different levels, floors and stuff. Look at all these details. These are left over from 5 or 6 years ago that just got carried over and over because I used the SAM. But watch this. These are details I really don't even use anymore. But watch the size of this file when I change. See that it's a 6 meg file right now, workshop details. Suppose I just get rid of these details right here. Delete. How does that affect the memory? Control save. Oh, it went down to just, it's still 6. Suppose I go up, here's some more junk details I don't use. Delete. Control save. Let's see what it went down to. Now it's down to 58, 5.8 megs. So that's something that I need to be aware of, is these extra details. So how many details do I have in here? I got those details and those details and those details. Suppose I get rid of these, because what happens is this represents my layout page. That represents my layout page, and so these details will be shown in layout. But all these done. These other details are outside of the layout page, and so, you know, the point is, if I want to use this detail, 9 to point, and I just stick it right there, there it is. But I really don't need these, and so I just delete them. And so I'm sort of setting up a master detail sheet that I'm going to start associating with the plans and do whatever. But let's see what happens. Control save. It went from 58 to 57. Get rid of this and this. And delete. Control save. Went down to 56. You see what I'm, just to give you an idea of how much memory that stuff takes. And because I have my details on level 0 for my foundation, I have level 1, this is my roof details, and then level 2 is my floor details, and then whatever else. I send this to layout several times. I send these foundation details to my foundation plan. I send level 1 to my roof framing plan or something. And I send this level here with my floor details to the floor detail layout sheet. So if you look at layout, and this is sort of important to understand, here's my foundation plan. Remember, see that I added those details? But what you got to understand is I actually sent that detail sheet to layout twice. Once it's here for my roof details, and it's here. So do I need to switch over to just sending it to sending this detail sheet to the layout one time, and it's on its own sheet, so all these details are on one sheet in layout? I like to put my foundation details on my foundation plan. I like to put my roof details on my roof framing sheet, because it keeps things simpler for people. So let's just see what happens if I delete. Timer up. Suppose I delete timer up. Suppose let's see how big is this work layout? 15,589. This is going to be sort of important when I get to the boilerplate notes for Jared. Delete this. Delete it. Delete, Scott. Delete. Now, how does that change my layout size, okay? It's 15.5. Control save. Not much. Not much. Did you see that? That did not change that much. Control save. Oh, shit. Hardly nothing. Look at that. 15,589 kilobytes because I have this in here because I've sent this to layout twice. I'll get rid of this one. Control save. It's 15,589. Suppose I get rid of this copy because this is level 1 of my detail sheet. The other one this is level 0 of my detail sheet. So I sent it to it twice. So suppose I delete this. Okay, let's look at it. Save it. Look at this. 15,589. Control save. 15,588. Minor. Unless I'm missing something. End of part 2. That was kind of good. That was kind of good, I think. Here's something that I'm gonna talk to you about, and that is, this is my title 24. I'll go to part 2 on this, part 3 on this. End of part 2.